Hey everybody, hope you guys doing alright. So, came through, and shout out to Matthew McConaughey. I feel like he might have had some help in delivering or helping me see this particular possible fact. Yeah, it could be what's going on. He had an idea that like this seems to happen. Like this as I start to get sober and clean, like I start to have like a serious emotional, like almost like feelings like I need to outburst or like just turmoil like seems to come to the surface. Like there's shit I've been numbing for years, almost 2 decades. I've been here in Portland for like fucking yeah, dude, get close like 15, 16, 17 years. I don't know, like, but it's getting close to 20 years to 2 decades. And then, even before that, it's really since I started doing fucking drugs, I think. I did. I mean, before I started smoking weed, and I love cannabis, and obviously I'm all about hemp and shit. Hemp's different than marijuana, but when I started getting high from marijuana, back when I was fucking, 12 or 13-ish, I think, um, that, like, a few years, like, it took a while. Like, at first, you start off, it's like a little fun thing you do. It's not, it's just like, kind of like a alternative, like dangerous, kind of like exciting, like thing that it's not good. Like, I got into trouble when I was a kid and shit. And anyway, so I used to, little things like that weren't hurting other people. Sometimes I would find myself getting into trouble, and liking it. Anyway, so but it was more kind of about that at first than it was about like me actually. Like I was already in a good mood. Like it wasn't like I was trying to escape something or like I was in pain or anything like that. It's just like it's just something fun to do. So you try it and you see it, you hear about it, and, you see the movies and shit like that. And but eventually, as I did it more and more, because once you have that first really fun experience, that's what fucking plants the seed for you to want a lot more. And then once you have that moment, and for me, it took a couple times, but once I did, and I eventually did, because then it just started to be more around, because other people started having it, so they'd share it, and other people started doing it, they'd share it, and more people started buying it, and then we start, there's this little group of us that, that's what I found eventually was a group of stoners, and some of them weren't, but most of us were stoners. That's one of the commonalities that we had. Probably the biggest commonality we had was that we was all smoking weed, and we were all kind of like outcasts and alternative kids, But there's a lot of us. Like we had a good group, like good. It would vary, but anywhere from like 20 to 30 people would sometimes be chilling, from spot to spot, like all over our little area of the city that we had. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here, but so anyway, Matthew McConaughey helped bring to my attention that since leaving Phoenix, which was my birthplace where I was raised, and I had all these friends and roots and shit like that, new people and da da da. And I didn't leave in the best way. I didn't say goodbye to anybody, or even the work. I didn't even stay my last. I put 2 weeks in, but the very last day I skipped to get high. Yeah, dude, I hated it. I just and like they were gonna say goodbye to me because they loved me at my job. It was a good job I did a very good job there, and everybody loved me there, and so they were like genuinely, sad. And also, I missed out on a fucking shift. Like, just so that was my seed that I left Phoenix with. That on top of just leaving Phoenix, at the time I was doing a lot of pills. I just started having panic attacks. It was my first year of having panic attacks, so. It was a very dark time for myself. And, I hadn't made things right with a bunch of friends of mine that I still felt bad with, and I carried a lot with me. I had a lot of fucking baggage. And left Phoenix with all that shit and went to Oregon. And it was outside of Portland, too. It was like Forest Grove, which is outside, like, it's another smaller town away from Portland. Not too far away, like 20, 30, like maybe 15, 20 minutes away. Maybe a little bit further. I think maybe like 30 miles, but it's through country roads, and there's all sorts of little like houses and shits and little cities and places all around. So I mean, it's still kind of connected to Portland, but it's much more sparsed out. But anyway, so it does have a very rural-esque feeling. So we move all the way up here to the Great Pacific Northwest, which is beautiful as fuck. So another part of me is like, this is also gorgeous. Like I've always. As me being a fucking nature boy, I've always loved fucking, the outdoors and shit, and knowing about the Oregon and the forest, and the Oregon Trail, and just the great, forest of Oregon and how beautiful it is, and also the rain and shit. But there's a lot of beauty here. And there fucking is, man. There really is. A lot of great smells and just fucking sights and trees and colors and birds and all sorts of, just amazing, as far as wildlife is concerned. So it's been very beautiful. Like, and I've got to meet people up here that are fucking awesome and very different and alternative, and you know, just so there's been a lot of great things that I've also experienced, but it's also been extremely lonely, and especially, you know, first getting here, like, you know, anyway, so it's like, since I've been using this whole time, and like the times that I'm not using, like all this emotion comes out, and I do usually end up reaching out to my former friends, because I'm like, I start feeling more, and then I feel all these, like, these chords that were once there, that when I used to go and do shit with friends, and so it's like, part of me is now that I'm not using and stuff, like those chords are wanting to do stuff and hang out with people, and so they're like searching, and they're questioning, and like, they're not there. So then it's like, okay, what's the next thing? It's like to seek, you know, like, what happened, you guys? Like, you know, I thought we were good. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like, dude, you know, this isn't what I wanted. Like, fuck, dude. Like, really? Like, this is how this is gonna end? Like, shit. Like, the times that we had, the connections that we had, the memories and moments and the laughs, and, you know, it's like, fuck, for it to come to this? Like, really? You know, so that feeling seems to come out a lot more the more I sober up. So yeah, and anyways, so because now that I'm beginning to sober up more and more, that's starting to come out, and, you know, it was, so I would need to seek, you know, some type of, like, I would need to, like, really get that out of my, like, to really, like, move on, like, you know, successfully. Like, I gotta find some type of way to, like, some type of a holistic way to either move on or seek closure or to grow or to, like, somehow fucking, you know, move on from that, like, you know, just like getting over that transition, you know, and like moving to the next part of my life, and like just embracing the fact that these are the things that happen, and even everything that happened, like, you know, it's just like, you know, it's not everybody's gonna like you, man. You know, it's okay. Like, you're not here to please everybody, you know, and even the people that you thought that you were fucking super close with, you know, maybe it wasn't as close as you thought it was, you know. It's just the truth, man. Maybe that's just more something that how you are, and you may be imagining that they felt the same way, and maybe they wanted to, and to a degree maybe they were, but maybe they weren't just quite to the level that you are, and that's why things didn't line up the way that they really should have, if we were both on, you know, more of a similar page. So, you know, yeah. But I think those are some definite issues. Yeah, I have just been holding on to like, still like wanting to live that life and have these friends, and, you know, like, part of me doesn't want that to die, or to like to move on. Not to say that it is dead or it can't be revived or anything, but like, you know, they're like, I'm still clinging on to it maybe too much is a possibility. I don't know. Like, is that what it is? I don't know. I don't really, like, I do, but I don't. But no, I do. I still think about them all the time, and you know, it's just strange, you know, just the way shit's worked out. But yeah, maybe I am holding on to that too much. I think so. So anyways, yeah, I'll meditate on that. But all right, thank you guys. I love y'all. Take care. Bye.